Okay, so I may have started without you this morning. It's only because, well, I needed to charge my phone and I needed to get something started while you guys were charging. So what I did wasn't really important. You didn't miss out on much. What I'm trying to do today is mount the stock radiator for this 4.6 in this here truck somehow. Running into a few issues, okay? Well, let me show you what I was running into. I went ahead and took off the condenser / transmission cooler thing. That way over there, okay? It was bringing me too close to the motor. Plus, I didn't like it. I'm not using the condenser right now, and the trans cooler is gonna have its own cooler somewhere else, so I didn't need any of all that stuff. Now that condenser sat out probably, I don't know, 2 inches further. And everywhere there was a mount that the condenser clipped into, I went ahead and cut that off of there. Both sides, trying to get it as close to this core support as possible. And, well, I'm sort of kind of accomplishing that slowly. Now, if you look down here, also, there's this, I don't know, angle triangle bracket for the stock radiator core support. I did have to notch this side out. You see that's cut out. It's about halfway down it, 3/4 of the way down it. That was to allow the radiator to have something to sit on at the bottom. I didn't do it to that side because I'm having the radiator sit kind of a little bit more towards the driver's side, just to kind of clear some other lines over here, the battery, and some wire I think it's going to be rotting through there. So the bottom is going to be resting on that bracket thing I kind of cut out here. And well, let's clean that off. I saved the stock mounts, okay? These actually mounted on the frame. That radiator is supposed to sit much lower too. If you see here, there is the lower coolant hose right there. Those got to be pretty close to each other, and they're not. It's going to be about a foot away, so I'm going to have to figure out something with the radiator hose. Anyways, I'm saying that because this is supposed to sit in there like that, okay? See how it's slotted, humped on the top, sit like that, and these sat on the frame holding that radiator. Well, there's no frame right there, fellas and fellers. There's nothing there for me to mount this on, okay? So what I'm going to do, somehow get this back on there. Get on there. Get. Okay, there we go. So that's how it sits, right? Nothing, this angle would probably push my radiator too far back anyways. Well, say we just turn it, okay? Yeah, we're just gonna turn it. Now this offset is way too much, so I've got to figure out how close I want it to the core support, and I'm gonna got a nice line there. Take this tab and actually weld it to it. Now you're probably thinking, well, how in the heck am I ever going to change the radiator out? Well, I thought about that too. These have kind of like a U-strap on them. So if you just take this off, right, this will be sitting this way, welded to the core support. You should be able to take this bolt off, take the strap off, and the radiator kind of slide towards the engine and come off. Now, in my head, all of that works out. I'm slowly finding that as I'm cutting stuff away and getting this trial and error thing working, there's a lot more errors, which is creating me to trial it more, okay? So we're just gonna start from here. You didn't need to see me cut the tabs off. You didn't need to see me take the condenser off. We're gonna start right here and try to figure out what's my distance from the core support to the radiator, cut that bracket, weld that bracket onto this portion, and fingers crossed there's no leaks in this radiator because I haven't checked it. It was running before and there was no leaks, but who knows what's happened since I pulled this motor out. So let me figure out, we'll take this back off, figure out how close we want it, take a measurement pretty much from the core support to, well, the back side of this. I don't really care wherever I want to take a measurement, I'll take a measurement. Yeah. that's what I'm gonna do. Got lots of parts too. I pulled the other harness out of the car. The where's it at? Over here somewhere. That's the wiring. Oh, there's a box. Box. Anyways, got most of the stuff out I think I need. Well, most of the stuff I don't need. The most important part I do need was the brake, or not the brake, the gas pedal. So got that. The wiring going to that, to the engine, should be there. And where are you at? The most important part, it's right here. So, did a little bit of research, been watching these diagrams, been looking at the diagrams for it. And that right there is what's going to limit me. Let's see if you can see what that says. See that? The PATS receiver. That right there is what's going to stop me from not being able to start, because it's probably going to go into limp mode or security feature. So I need this with the key. What I'm going to do is just, tape that together and stick that up on the dash somewhere, and that's going to be my transponder. So as long as the key is close to it, it thinks, hey, we've got a key that's recognized by this PCM, and I think that's going to help me with my whole security system thing. I thought it was going to be more in depth, and the more I'm looking at the diagram, I don't think so. But I'm not going to say that out loud because, well, I'm going to jinx myself if I do. Okay? Anyways, rabbit hole, squirrel moment, whatever. Wiring's for another day. Probably not even for you guys because it's mind-boggling, okay? And if I sit here and try to explain to you guys all of the wiring, I'm probably going to lose subscribers. So what I'm going to do is, in the background, kind of just start going through all this and then come back to you once I think I've got it figured out. And then we'll slap it together, and it's going to seem like I knew exactly what I was doing the whole time. So there's my plan. There you go. Let's get back to the radiator. Okay. Pull this off. I'm going to just put it on. Pull that off, lean that back, get a measurement from here to there. So you guys are going to have to go on the stand as well. I ain't got enough hands for this. Not at the moment. Maybe tomorrow I will. But as of right now, nope. All right. Got that. Tape measure for assurance. Slide this thing back. I'm pretty much going to go all the way to the plastic stops that it has. Hey, when did you come on there? Now what in the... Must have broken. Zip ties will fix that. So all the way to the stop. Pretty much. We're going to say an inch. Yeah, we could probably go less than that too. 7/8. Cut that thing to 7/8 and suck it in. Yeah, let's do that. Ooh, that's not going to be good. So anyways, I took a measurement from here, okay, which is basically here, and it says it's an inch or 7/8. Well, if I go, can you guys see that? If I go 7/8, I'm only going to have 3/8 past this bracket, which might be good. So I think it's going to be, let's go an inch. So we're going to go an inch past, which is pretty much right even. Like if you count this thickness, come across this bracket, if this is making sense, this thickness to that bracket, that's about half inch. And then from this bracket to that stud, that's about another 3/8 of an inch. So if I'm going to put this up against there, that's going to be hitting this bolt. I'm going to have to cut it just past it. Yeah, I think I got it. Sort of. I should be able to just copy that over to the same side, right? Let's just double check. Get in there. Yeah. So to the back side, yep, it's about an inch. So if I bring that off, see what I'm going to stop? There's a little plastic stop there and over there. I'm trying to get that right up against it, which gets me right at 7/8 of an inch. If I come off a little bit, hopefully it doesn't bang and clang. So 1 inch, both sides, cut it off. Okay. Now, as you can see, I got reorganized with my clutter, meaning I took everything where it was supposed to be. Well, I put it where it's not supposed to be. And that would be right here in my work area. But then again, why would I call it a work area if I have it clean all the time, right? It's crunch time, fellas. And fellers. Okay? And fellers. It's crunch time, so I'm not really caring to put much of my stuff back, even though I should be. Cannot lose that. Okay. Get this in a vise. Cut that thing off. Clean it up on the edges. Weld it up in there. And maybe we'll have some sort of mount thing. And then once I weld it onto the frame, we're going to find out it's probably got interference issues somewhere else. And I'm going to have to cut it all apart. So it is what it is. If it happens, it happens. But we're going to fingers crossed it doesn't. What I should do is make sure these bolts right here don't. Make sure this bolt right here doesn't snap off. So I should probably go ahead and give that a dry run. Pull that bolt out of there. Because I'll cut everything welded in, then go to take it off and it just snaps. And then all that. Oh, did you guys see what? Did you guys see this? Ski, ski. This thing breaks open every bolt. Everything. All right. What size does that look like? 10? Okay. Let's get a 10. This car likes metric and standard. It's probably not, look, it's not a 10. It's 8. Because they skip 9, and they don't like 7s. So, let's see what the 8 does. Come on, baby. Okay. It's working. All right, I ain't gonna go too crazy with it. Now, I've already got my safety glasses on because I was throwing hot plastic all over the place when I was cutting them tabs off. So, glasses are still on. You guys cover your ears. I want to cut this here. Oh, where'd you guys go? Y'all kicked me. Kicked it. Scared me. I thought y'all were falling over. Hey. We're going to have to taper that back a little bit because it does not look like it's a little shorter there than it is there. Which, you can do that way over there. Ow, that's hot. Quit moving. Woo, that's hot. Right in the finger. say we just cut that off. There's no need for that little Batman wing anyways. Okay, much straighter. Yeah. Oh yeah, right in the leg meat. Then needs that thigh. Okay. Whew, it did get me right in the thigh, didn't it? Okay. Definitely no better. Should go ahead and take this off too so we don't smelt it when we're welding, but I can at least get it tacked on because I'm going to need to use this as my reference. So don't take it off just yet. That's one more step. But I'll go backwards if I do. Okay. So if we're somewhat close, down like it's supposed to, I feel like it should be on the outside. Easier to do. So that means I can use this one over here. Can I? Yeah. Can't I use this one on the outside too? Sure can. They're reversible. Plus, you know, me locking it in like that, that's going to give just some extra locking force, and it's not going to want to go anywhere. At least I think. Above my head, it's not going anywhere. Now, I guess we just lean her back. There you go. You see that? Nope, you can't. Okay. I have to take that middle and kind of curve it out just a little bit so it sits nice and tight because I still see a little gap right there at the top. So we'll score that out a little bit. And of course, I'm going to be welding right where there's a hole, so that's going to take nice. Guess I could slide it over a little bit more, huh? Let's try that. No, I can't because that bottom's already on that bracket. Okay. So it is what it is. I'll just make it work. But I do need to shave off a little bit right here because it humps into there. Yep. There it is. Oh, there we go. Nice and tight. Tighty. Now, I'm going to need one of those things that takes metal and gets it really hot and, you know, forms them together. This thing. Plugged in. Check. Stop rolling over my trash. Check. Extend the cord because, well, we're going to max out. Why are there all these wires all over the place? Check. Gas on. Oh, it's already on. Okay, we got some left. On. We want really hot. Hey, a Sharpie. See, so I can never find them. Gloves and ground. Where is it not gonna ground? Everywhere. Because it's rusty. The old helmet, locked and loaded. Definitely using gloves as well. I have burnt my hands way too much this week. Way too much. I really don't trust that ground. I ain't gonna do it. That ground is not gonna work. What kind of ground is conspicuous? Yep. Conspicui right there. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. All right. This needs to come this way. Helmet needs to come down. And well, tacked. Even though I feel like the gas did not come through. It's off. It's open. So it just needed a second. All right. Let's tack the top. And now get that bracket off of there so we don't smelt all that in there. And we can test to see if this is going to come off like my brain says it's going to. Because, well, it might not. Okay. Hey, it did. See if I can get some splatter in there. I'm probably not going to be able to get much on the inside because it's just holding the radiator. Don't need that. Whoa! Why would you do that? All right. Yep, there's that hole. Let's fill that in real quick. Oh, there's another hole. Now, one might say, you spent a lot of weld there. Yes, I did. Spent a lot of time there. That's excessive. I agree. But for some reason, I kept finding new holes. Like where horns and whatever else were hooked up. And yes, it might be excessive. So that's why we're going to add more.